welcome to the session this afternoon on the Middlesbrough Football Club Family Zone Experience Challenge. So I'm Simon Green, I'm CEO of Edge Innovation, and we'll give you a quick introduction to Edge and then go into the details around the challenge. So the context to this, so Edge is a specialist design innovation consultancy based in the northeast of England, but we deliver programs across the world, working with local businesses, research institutions, big local government and NHS organizations, and big private sector organizations across a whole range of industries. Our focus is around innovation, and particularly around where you can help organizations who don't normally work together to collaborate on innovation projects. So whether that's about working with big organizations to connect them with smaller organizations for collaborative projects, it's about helping to understand the users for potential innovation and how users and customers can be brought into the design process through human-centered design. And lean innovation, so bringing together, basically trying to bring together concepts around lean startup into innovation processes where we can de-risk innovation and help to work more quickly through innovation projects to help them be more successful and take out some of the risk that exists in those projects. And that's where the Tees Valley Innovation Challenge comes in as well. So it's about trying to connect bigger organizations with smaller ones for mutual benefit. And Carol, I think you were just going to give us an introduction to what the challenge is about, and then we'll bring in the guys from Middlesbrough Football Club.
Yeah, so if we can move on to the next slide. So the challenge context, what we want to do is to our overall aim is about strengthening the innovation maturity of businesses within the Tees Valley economy, and what we want to do is to support those businesses through a range of tailored support, which then helps to unlock the potential or enable those businesses to see the opportunity of that. We're also running a number of innovation sessions, so they're cohort-based programs. We've run one, and I think we've got another couple lined up over the next couple of months. And then finally, one of the things that we want to do is to bring together all of the businesses that we've been working with to showcase the innovation journeys that they've been on, but also, again, to link them with potential future collaborators and potential future investors so that they can continue on the journey after the work that we have done comes to an end in this particular cohort in March 2025. So the innovation challenges, the context of this is fairly simple, in that what we're looking to do in a nutshell is to identify a larger SME who has a particular challenge that it's looking to solve. And the intention is that what we're looking to do is to link those organizations with smaller SMEs who might have particular expertise in particular areas and fields that they can then work with and help to provide solutions to the challenge of the larger SME. As I said in an earlier slide, we have grant funding to help the smaller businesses on that innovation journey, to help them and cover the time that they will put into to helping to find the solutions. And the solutions can be a range of things. They might be products, they might be services, or particular processes, which might be new ways that the larger SME can adopt to help them to move on. And the other thing that we're also interested in is ensuring or hoping that the journey will continue with the smaller SME. So it will not just be a one-off thing. There might be an ongoing relationship that will continue again beyond the program's lifetime. Next slide, please. So challenge themes. These are the 10 challenges that we are looking to address over a number of sectoral areas. So we've got digital innovation, healthcare, net zero, social enterprise, transport and logistics, professional services. And this probably, the one that we're talking about today, probably falls within the creative sector, in relation to looking at how creative industries might help provide a particular solution to the challenge that Middlesbrough Football Club has identified through the work that we've been doing over recent months. Next slide, please. And this slide gives an illustration, a breakdown of how we are structuring the journey. So we're launching the challenge. That's one that we're doing today, and we have a number of challenges that are live at the moment. I think, have we got 3, Simon? 3 or 4?
We've got 6 at the moment,
6
and
live.
one more that's just being launched today.
Brilliant. And we invite businesses to put proposals in. A number of those proposals are selected to be developed further. Each of those businesses that are selected will receive £1,000 in support to develop the idea. Then we work with the larger SME to identify the proposal that they're most interested in developing. That SME is awarded £10,000 to develop the challenge further, and then the journey continues and we evaluate the programme. So down to the detail of Middlesbrough Football Club, I'd like to firstly start by saying we're really, really pleased that the club were interested in working with this on this project. And over the previous months, we've been working with Helena and Yvonne to focus down on the challenge, but as they're the experts in their field, we thought it would be helpful for them to talk about the particular area that they want to focus on and how they might be interested in developing it in the coming weeks and months. So I'd like to introduce Helena, and I think Yvonne is also on the call.
Yes, apologies. We've had a big internet issue here today, and I'm hoping it'll be smooth running for this. But if it's not, just someone flag it to me. But I'm just going to talk until someone does. So I'm Helena. I'm head of business operations and community at Middlesbrough Football Club, and Yvonne is our head of supporter services. So we are a professional football club in the Championship, based in Middlesbrough, which is, obviously we have matches as well, but we also have a lot of events and conferences during the week and also concerts during our summer period. One of the things we pride ourselves on or want to promote is our sort of community and family club. We have a local club. We have a very local fan base, and we want to do as much as we can possibly to help the local fans and our supporters. So this challenge specifically is around our family zone, which is in a certain section of our stadium, and Yvonne, in her role, oversees the family zone. So Yvonne and I will sort of tag team this a bit. Yvonne can give a lot more detail on what actually goes on in the family zone because she's there every match and she runs it. And I'll give a bit of sort of an overview, I guess. Just in terms of the slides, Simon, if you can just go on to the next one. I haven't got them in front of me. So our family zone is in our northeast area of our stadium. It is there to, as it says on the tin, attract families. So we have varying ticket offers within that family zone to basically get as many young people in as possible, to try and attract the fans of the future and then retain them as well. It's a brilliant area. It's been there for, I'm going to say, over 10 years. It's sort of bright, colourful. It's different to the rest of the concourses. It has games. It has computers. It has interactive dressing up sections, things that are there to cater for that young person's needs, to try and engage them in the club, but also retain them as hopefully future Middlesbrough fans. But as I said, it's over 10 years old. So this challenge is all about how do we improve that family area, make it a bit more up to date, let's say. What can we introduce to it, which is innovative, to try and help us retain those fans? So the challenge context is on the screen there. So the challenge is to offer a more creative approach to developing and modernising our family zone. It is worn, it's been there for 10 years, it needs upgrading, but how we do that is the challenge on the table, I guess, and how we address the issues that it currently faces. And some of the issues or challenges that we currently face in the family zone are things which are listed on there. So ticket abuse by adults. So the whole purpose of this family zone area, imagine something which is bright, engaging, there for young people. On a match day now, we have a bit of ticket abuse in there. So actually, if you go along to the family zone, there might be, well, there are more adults than children, for example. And if you went in not knowing what it is, I think you just maybe see it as similar to other areas at the football club because there are so many adults in there. As a place, we have tried to make it brighter, but when you've got young children in the winter months, it is cold. It can be less engaging, and it's difficult potentially if the football's not great. It's how you engage those young people throughout that football match and how you then retain them during those colder seasons. And then it's that the family zone should be there to cater for sort of 11 and younger ish, or 11, 13 and younger. Whereas often at that stage, when a young fan becomes 12 or 13, they want to move to another area of the club, which is absolutely fine. They might want to go and sit in the south stand, which is sort of where the teenagers sit. But how do we keep young fans engaged to that age before they move over? So what activities can we deliver in that space? How can we make the space more interactive or innovative to hold on to those pre-teen children before they move on to another area? So we do have issues and challenges within the space. What this isn't about is ticket sales, because that area is sold out, because it is such a popular area, because of the ticket offers we have. It's more when that young person comes with their mum or their dad, how do we make sure that young person enjoys it as much as possible and we retain them through the years as a Borough fan? So hopefully not going over all ground, but problem, difficulty maintaining those families and the young people especially, to ensure that we retain them as fans. We have a few issues in our challenges and communications with staff and fans. So how do we make sure that pride that we have in being a community club, how do we make sure that that's a real feature of the family zone, and that is really the heart of what the family zone should be about? The space, so you'll be able to come and see it, but the space itself is a huge empty sort of high ceilings, cold area, which is like most concourses when you go to football. So the space is the space. So it is what it is. And then there's cost limitations in that as well. So we haven't got an infinite pot of money. We don't have much money with the football club, despite what people think. But it's the funding and the space there is a limitation, I guess. And as I said earlier, we really want to increase the retention of those young fans to ensure that they convert into lifelong fans and have season tickets for life, whether that's in the family zone or if they move on to a different area. So drilling down a bit more to that, it is on the screen. I'm not going to read every single bit out, but the engagement of children. I brought my 5-year-old daughter to the football and I had to leave at half time because she can't sit still for that long a period of time. So how do we ensure that the young fans, from when they arrive at 1:30, 2:00 till after the match, are engaged enough to want to stay? So that's one opportunity which we'd like to get to. As I mentioned earlier, the pre-teens. So what is it that engages pre-teens? What should we have in that family zone? Which actually the pre-teens will think this is absolutely brilliant. When that concourse opens at 1:30 on a match day, we want to be there immediately at 1:30, and we're going to bring our parents down earlier because there's so many activities there for our age group that we want to stay and we want to come early, and even we might want to stay after the match as well. So what can we have in our family zone which engages that audience to keep them there as long as possible? And then fans again engaging with other fans. So we'd like to encourage more of a community offer and a chance to fans to connect, which doesn't really happen at the minute. We've got a lot of young fans, but actually how do we create something where there's a connection between fans and looking at the future state? That's again about that community club, about that community atmosphere. How do people get on and want to come because their friends are there, for example? The staff. So we have had difficulty recruiting staff. So again, the family zone will have numerous staff in there, engaging supporters, but actually engaging staff to work one Saturday every 2 weeks is not an easy thing to do. So how do we improve on that? And the future state there says more organised and creative approaches to delivery of the family zone. So if there's things that the staff can really get involved with or specialise in, for example, that might help us with recruitment. Low confidence, so we have a lot of young staff at the stadium, and again, we need to work on how we increase their confidence, potentially giving them more opportunities to grow professionally at the club, developing new skills which are related to the activities in the family zone. And as I said, they're long and irregular hours. So how do we create something in the family zone which is a career or a career development opportunity at least? Activities. So we have, just as an example, because I'm trying to paint the picture of what this concourse looks like. So a big open space with bars and food kiosks, a mini retail shop, and then you might go to the right-hand side of the family zone and you've got a little dressing up area so young kids can come along and try on a different outfit from Frozen or a Disney princess or something like that. So there's those activities. You've got a sweet cart, you've got Subbuteo football, you can guess the time of the goal, sort of competitions like that, which are quite basic and easy for us to do. So how or what can we introduce in the family zone which diversifies those activities and makes them maybe more current, or if we're talking about pre-teens, more on their level, I guess. Could you introduce digital things? I was talking this morning about my 11-year-old daughter who is really interested in TikTok and doing videos on how to get ready with me and skincare and stuff like that. And actually, she wouldn't come to a football match, but actually, if there was something to do with that, she might. Suitability, it's the same thing, suitability of activities. What can we offer for all those age groups? So we say for the family zone, really it's from babe in arms, so babies to that pre-teen age group. And then, as I say, they move on to a different area of the club. And then the space limitations. So it is what it is. It is concourse in a Riverside stadium. We have no plans or desires as part of this to do a huge extension outside. However, there could be ways to use the space better. You could have there's kiosks and bars there. So could you do something around the queuing in the bars to create more space for family zone activity, for example? I think that's a bit of a summary. There's a few other things there around inclusivity and social good. A lot of the activities we theme in the match day are to do with local causes, good causes, so or to do with a certain campaign. So it's World Mental Health Day on the 10th of October. So in the family zone, that match, we will do something around the theme of mental health, and will help a good cause locally. Whether that's through a bucket collection or an activity which just promotes good mental health. So there's opportunities there for social good, I guess. Just on the bottom one there, sponsorship. So we do have sponsors of the family zone. So we've got Everyone Active, who's our sponsor. Is there opportunity to do more sponsorships? Potentially those which are more family orientated, not more family orientated, just family orientated. It's not always about football either. Young people, especially if we're wanting to engage new fans, they might not be coming. They might come for the football, but it might come because their friends are there, or because the family zone's so good that they really want to come to the family zone and then watch the match on the back of it. So that's really important. And then just stressing the point before, if the family zone is there to engage young fans in something, which hopefully then means that we've got lifelong fans who go on to be future season ticket holders of their own right, rather than buying it with their parents. That's what, from our point of view, the out of scope bit is extended family zone. It's not sold out. It's focusing on the young fans, focusing on the space and what could be made, how that could be made best. It's about community. We have a standard set of values about respect, teamwork, family. It has to consider health and safety standards. In a concourse with, it might have 6,000 people in it on a match day. We have to make sure we abide by health and safety. So we can't build something huge, for example, in the middle of the family zone, because we wouldn't be able to have as many people in there on a match day. Just wouldn't work. There's food and drink outlets in there. So could we do something with them to make it more family orientated? Is there something innovative we could do there? Yvonne, are you back on? I can just see your video on. Are you back on?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you want to add anything?
Apologise. No, I think you've summed. I think you've summed it up. Questions, or they want to come and have a look around. That's probably a good idea. I think basically success of this on, I think that has changed, and look at different things that we do in. I'm not massively one that's massively into social media for children, but I do realise that it's part of the world now. We have invested in an external gaming zone and upgraded our internal gaming zone within the family zone. However, there might be things like TikTok. We don't even think about TikTok. So I think we're just open to really modern new ideas that perhaps we are not looking at.
Yeah, I agree. We are quite open to any ideas really, because it's such a, yes, it's a specific area of the club physically, but there's quite a wide scope of things that could be delivered in it, in terms of how the space is used, but also what the offer within the family zone is in itself.
We're obviously promoting this challenge at the moment, and our initial deadline is Friday, the 4th of October. We're really keen to get intelligent responses to these challenges, and because, as Helen is saying, it's actually quite a broad set of challenges, we are going to keep it open for a little bit longer. But those that apply straight away will have the best opportunity to get involved. And then, as Yvonne was saying, one of the things we'd like to do is get solution providers down to the space and see the space in real life, see how it functions now, and then co-develop some solutions to the challenges that Helena mentioned earlier on. The process is we have two phases. So at this first stage, we offer £1,000 in grant funding to solution providers to try and scope out their ideas in a bit more detail and buy out a bit of staff time to be able to do that. And then at the second stage, if you're successful at that point, then we can provide £10,000 in grant funding to help with the development and implementation of your ideas. The big opportunity, though, is really around working in collaboration with such a forward-thinking club as Middlesbrough and helping to ensure that we develop something that maybe could be applied to multiple sporting organisations and entertainment venues locally and nationally. The overall project that we're working on closes in March 2025. So we are looking for things that can be implemented potentially within this season, or at least we can make progress towards something that could kick in for next season. The process for doing that is just via the Edge website, and I'll drop a link into the chat in a moment so that you have that. But we do have an opportunity at the moment, if anyone wants to raise any questions now, if there's something you wanted to pick up separately, or has something confidential you wanted to ask, then you can email through to us and we'll pick it up through that route. Is there anything you wanted to add as a summary, Carol?
No, I mean, just to say thanks again to Helena and Yvonne. As you say, I think this is a really, really interesting challenge and has the potential, obviously, to be something that will move the club on in terms of how it continues to do brilliant work to support the family zone, but also a concept or idea that may be applied or used in relation to good practice for other clubs around the country, and other similar sporting venues. So yeah, I think it's something which we should wait and see what the opportunities are. But I'm sort of really excited about hearing from businesses within the Tees Valley and how they would respond. So thank you to the club.